everybody, how you all doing? I just thought I'd put together a quick video on how I'm producing the actual stencils for my Corsair 1/32 scale Spitfire Mark 1. The kit that I'm using, I think I've alluded to before, it's the Cricut Explore Air 2. That's the hardware itself, and the software is the Cricut Design Space. Two really great bits of kit. The software I find very simple to use, which is good for me because I'm not the sharpest tool in the box, and it allows you to import images from things like Adobe Photoshop for things like the squadron codes, and I think the actual cutting quality at the end of the process is actually very good. So I'll take you through the way that I do it. Now I say it's not a tutorial, so I'm really not that good with the hardware and the software, but I know enough to get by. So without further ado, here's my video. Before I go, if you like what you see, and I hope you do, and you find it interesting, please consider subscribing and give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Here we have the Cricut Design Space software. And first job on my agenda, I created the Type B roundels for the upper wing. Fairly straightforward. It was just two concentric circles, one inside the other, as I'm sure you're aware. The outer circle being 4.3 centimeters and the inner was 1.8 centimeters. Now I got the dimensions directly from the Corsair decal sheet. I just used a vernier caliper just to get the measurements, and yeah, the actual process, as you can see, is very straightforward. The box around the roundel is purely there to make it look better on the actual finished sheet itself, and also when the roundel, when you go to apply the roundel, to the whatever part you're putting it on, it gives it something to grip onto on the part itself. Obviously the larger the surface area, the more effective it will be. I sped up the final part of the sequence, but suffice to say, to create the other masks, it's exactly the same as it was to create the Type B roundels. In fact, slightly later on in this particular sequence, I create the serial number for the aeroplane, and again the process was very painless. And once you're happy with the design and layout of your masking sheet, it's time to send it over to the Explore Air 2, where it will be cut out. And here's a short sequence just to really show how good the Cricut is for creating the cuts for the stencils. And this includes one of the roundels, and again a little further on in the sequence I show you how well the Cricut cut out the serial number of the aircraft. The Cricut is actually so good at making clean cuts in the vinyl that you only really need some minimal work for cleanup. The November 3200, as you can see on this poly bag, just needed the N, the 3 and the 2, having the internal structures removed, and obviously if I was going to paint this on a model, the internals for the 0 and the 0 would need to be added, so when you come to spray it, obviously those parts are covered to give you a lovely sprayed finish. Doesn't that look good? Well, guys, there you have it. Hopefully you'll agree that the actual results are very, very good, and the quality, or the cutting quality, is really up there with things like Montex and yeah, other major stencil manufacturers. Now, obviously, not everybody has the privilege of having the hardware and the software, but really, if you can afford it and you're semi-computer literate, I would highly recommend it. Now, the next time you see the stencils themselves, I'll be painting the markings on my Spitfire, and I won't be using any bought-in masks. They'll be all home produced, so that'll be quite interesting. Guys, thank you for your time. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day. See you all very, very, very soon. Cheers now. Bye bye.